Be sure to smash that like button, and if you enjoy the Mitchell Report series, leave a little quick tip or donation at the Super Thanks. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. The late, great Stuart Scott meant everything to the world of sports commentating. You can't really tell the story of the rise of relevance and excellence of sports commentary without mentioning Stuart Scott's name. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. You cannot be loved without being hated. Stuart Orlando Scott, born in 1965 in Southside Chicago, grew up in North Carolina, graduating from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Matter of fact, isn't there another all-time great with some type of ties to Chicago and UNC Chapel Hill? It's the GOAT energy for me. But Stuart Scott, he joined ESPN family back in 1993. Now, he started on ESPN2 on a show called Sports Night, then later becoming an anchor on the sports show SportsCenter. Now, Stuart Scott covered it all, people. Like, he was really outside with it. Major League Baseball playoffs, the 1995 NCAA Final Four. He covered the NBA Finals from 97 to 2014. In 2002, Stuart Scott was named studio host for NBA on ESPN, and in 2008, he was named lead host for ABC. Scott also covered football, including on Monday Night Football. He did coverage when the show moved to ESPN in 2006. Now, some of you may not know, but back on April 3rd, 2002, while filming for ESPN at a New York Jets minicamp, Stuart Scott was hit in the face by a football, permanently damaging his cornea. He literally put in that pain, y'all, so much respect to the OG for that. What is there really not to love about Stuart Scott? I mean, his style just cannot be copied or compared. There were already successful African-American sportscasters, but Scott blended that hip-hop culture and sports in a way that nobody has ever seen before on television.
Top 5. Booyah! Royce Clayton takes Juan Guzman out. Royce, slow your roll, kid. It's only his 5th homer of the year, but he rushed it and crushed it 423 feet. Go butter, because he is on a roll. Right crossing sports. Jeter in first. Booyah! Alex Rodriguez. 2nd homer in 7'1", 330-pound brother who strides up court like this after bringing down the house. Carl Lewis. At least Finney can sing. Finney's a rap mogul. Finney can rap. Carl Lewis threw that thing down, and he
street
butchered
cred now after that. Is that street cred or not?
Well, you know, the brothers ain't playing baseball in the street, so he still got street cred. He just ain't got no baseball cred.
It was like straight barbershop talk live on TV. The ESPN directors, man, they ate this up because they knew Stuart Scott was speaking a different language, one that really appealed to the youth, particularly to the young African-American demographic. Stuart Scott was a real genius for integrating the pop culture references into his reports, his style, his demeanor. I mean, he could go from being a Baptist preacher, you know, can I get a witness from the congregation, to quoting a Public Enemy line by Chuck D, hear the drummer get wicked, like all in the same sentence. Like, Stuart Scott was the man. He was sensational. But as I said before, man, where there's love, there's hate. Not everyone was digging this new vibe and the new wave of commentating that Stuart Scott had brought to the table. Both Stuart Scott and ESPN, the network, received a lot of hate mail from people who resented his color, the hip-hop style, or his generation. Back in 2003, in an article for the USA Today, they did a survey. I can remember Stuart Scott had finished first in the question of which anchor should be voted off of SportsCenter first. Y'all know who Jason Whitlock is. Jason Whitlock also criticized Stuart Scott in the past for his use of the Jay-Z alternate nickname Jigga at halftime on Monday Night Footballs. Jason Whitlock said he deemed it to be offensive and ridiculous. What do y'all think about Jason Whitlock taking those type of shots at Stuart Scott, especially, you know, what we've known from Jason Whitlock overall? But beyond the hate, man, Stuart Scott, he continued to defy the odds. He made a name for himself and having nothing but respect put on it. Let's be clear. Mr. Scott was a great man, a trendsetter. What about some of the quotables from Stuart Scott? Booyah, holla, as cool as the other side of the pillow. He must be the bus driver because he was taking him to school. Holla at a player when you see him in the street. Just call him Butter because he's on a roll. They call him the Windex man because he's always cleaning the glass. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here. Stuart Scott was a true OG and trendsetter. What was your favorite lines and quotables from Stuart Scott over the years, man? It just was epic. I'm not even going to hold you. Drop them things in the comment section right now. Now, things, however, did begin to take a turn for the worse in 2007 as Stuart Scott was diagnosed with cancer to the appendix. After going through remission, Scott was diagnosed again back in 2011 and in 2013. Now, he was still fighting, still grinding. He continued to put on his hard hat and give us all that he got for over the years, every show, every taping. At the ESPY Awards on July 16, 2014, Stuart Scott was definitely presented with the Jimmy V Award, and in typical Stuart Scott fashion, he proceeded with an acceptance speech for the ages. Y'all remember the quote? When you die, it does not mean that you lose the cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the matter in which you live. True icon, true legend, true GOAT, Stuart Scott. 6 months later, tragedy hit, and on January the 4th, 2015, at the age of 49, in his home in Avon, Connecticut, the great Stuart Scott passed away. Being such an advocate for the NBA, like, I often wonder how sports would be for young black athletes and just young black media personalities now, for that fact, if Stuart Scott was still alive. How much more trendsetters would we have in the game? How many people would have kind of branched off from that olive tree? I recently did a Mitchell report on Stephen A. Smith and his impact on black athletics, and it was kind of mind-blowing how many times people mentioned Stuart Scott's name. It was referenced in comparison, or rather in contrast, by the viewers, and how they were disappointed in the direction that people like Stephen A. Smith takes versus the angles and the delivery of Stuart Scott. Now, everybody is entitled to their own delivery and opinion, but, you know, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that the objective or the end game is the same when it comes to these two types of personalities? When it comes to the delivery of Stephen A. Smith versus the one of Stuart Scott? Like, you know, it's all right to have different styles. It's all right to have different paths, take different paths to get to the same destination. But do you think that the objective is the same as far as what Stuart Scott was trying to give and what Stephen A. Smith, for example, is trying to give? Y'all let me know, man, because it's up to y'all. But this is the Mitchell Report. I'm Seven Mitchell, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe. I thank you guys for all the new support, man. We definitely just hit over 3,000 subscribers on the channel. So thank you guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. I can't wait to read some of the comments. Rest in peace to the late, great Stuart Scott. The best to ever do it. Booyah. Y'all know the vibes, man. This is the Mitchell Report. I'm Seven Mitchell. Y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.